Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Ask Rob and Rob.
Welcome to Ask Rob and Rob. It's Tuesday. You know what that means. It means we've got 2 questions and 2 answers. We've got some really interesting ones coming up for you, but I'm sure you've got interesting questions of your own. So, Rob, how do people send them our way?
Well, it's the same place that it's always been, propertyhub.net/ask. Go there, you can call in, you can leave a recording on the webpage, or you can even submit your question in written form and have the chance of appearing in the Sunday Times, where you will see us answering your question there in the home section each and every week. However you do it, we don't mind, as long as it's a good question. And this week, Phillip has one of those very good questions.
Hello, Rob and Rob. Phillip Hatch here. I'm about to purchase my second property of my multi-million pound property portfolio, thanks to you two. With any luck, I will be retiring in luxury and it will be down to you, so very appreciated. My question is, how do you use the UK's position in the 18-year property cycle to influence your decision on mortgage term? Especially purchasing right now, do I want to get a 2-year mortgage and potentially be refinancing during the winner's curse? I probably want to avoid that, don't I? Unless I sit on the equity and pay the interest on it, waiting for a recession and buy well. Or do I want to get a slightly longer mortgage? But the problem with that is if I have to refinance during the recession period, I may not have enough equity to achieve the 75% loan to value criteria and have to sell the one I've just purchased. Now, my portfolio will survive, but it'll probably delay my retirement by 5 years. I kind of want to avoid that. Or do I just forget about it, hope for the best, get a 5-year mortgage, and cross my fingers? You buy a lot of properties. What are you doing right now? Most appreciated. Thank you.
Phillip, thanks for your question. Retiring in luxury sounds wonderful. If you want to repay us, mine's a pint. Yes, I am that cheap. But let's give you some more value, so hopefully you get me a packet of crisps with that pint as well. So, would I adapt my mortgage strategy because of the 18-year property cycle? The quick answer is no. And to be fair to you, Phillip, your question came in before we recorded the recent episode on the 18-year property cycle, where we updated everyone on our view of the 18-year cycle. And as you would have heard me say quite clearly, I think it's broken this time around. I do not think we're anywhere near a winner's curse. And actually, if you listen to our silent property crash episode that went out recently, you'll know that property prices in real terms have fallen. I would assess it on the products that are available to me today and my personal circumstances. And I would pretty much always do it that way, because unless we're in the middle of a massive boom, which we're not, then normally property is steady. A crash only comes after a boom, and refinancing a crash is fine because you normally see property prices recover after a crash. So unless you are in a boom, which, as I've said, we're not, then keep it to your circumstances and the best option for you. A broker will guide you through that. General advice right now, with where the mortgage market is today, is that 5-year fixes look quite attractive because the 2-year products have high fees. So the rates are typically a bit lower on a 5-year product compared to a 2-year product. And because of the high fees on the 2-year product, it doesn't make it that attractive. But your personal circumstances may require you to remortgage in 2 years. So that's why I'm not telling you what to do, but just letting you know a general rule and a general bit of advice. So for everyone listening, when you go for a mortgage, keep it business as usual. Don't try and make any predictions on the future property market. Leave that to idiots like Rob and I who do that each and every January. And just base it on that it will be business as usual, unless we are in the boom stage, which clearly we're not right now.
Okay, let's have our second question now from James.
Hey, Rob and Rob. This is James calling from Cambridge. Thank you for all of the content you continue to produce. It's amazing that there's still so much to learn after so many episodes. My question today is about leasehold. Last year, our freeholder issued us with a Section 5 notice indicating that they would like to sell their interest in the property for £185,000. We weren't able to gather enough interest from my neighbours in order to complete a purchase of the freehold at that stage, but they have again issued a Section 5 notice just recently indicating that they would like to sell it for £30,000. which seems like an incredible discount compared to just last year. I'm wondering if this is something you are seeing more globally as institutional investors anticipate perhaps changes to the law, which would mean that they cannot gather ground rent any longer and their investment isn't going to be worth very much, or whether there might be some other reason for our landlord to try and sell their interest. Interested to hear your thoughts. Thanks very much.
James, thank you for your question. And yes, this is something that we're hearing about more and more at the moment. Because of all the leasehold changes that have been rumbling along for years and finally passed in the final days of the last Parliament, we are hearing about freeholders putting forward lots of offers to offload those freeholds because they anticipate that they're going to fall in value and potentially, if ground rent becomes completely outlawed in the future, become worthless. In your case, that is quite a hefty move. 185,000 was the offer last year, down to 30,000. It seems like they're very keen to get rid. And there could really be two different things that are driving this offer. One is that they do just want to be shot of it. So they want to see if the leaseholders are interested in taking it off their hands. At least they get something for it. The other option is that they already have another buyer lined up. Because under the law, there's something called the right of first refusal, where they must make the offer to leaseholders first. And only if they decide not to take it up can they then sell to someone else. So it's possible they do have somebody waiting to buy. What should you do about it? Well, to actually accept this offer, there's only a 2-month time frame and you need more than 50% of qualifying leaseholders to agree. So I would suggest that this is probably something that's not going to happen in your case. But personally, I would not be going and banging down all my neighbours' doors trying to make it happen. Because when these changes become law and when more changes are made in the future, because it seems like the direction of travel is very much to eventually do away with leasehold, I think the opportunity will only become better over time. So of course, there may be all kinds of considerations that I'm not aware of that are particular to your circumstance, but that's how I would think about it in a general way. So James, thank you for your question. I hope that answers it.
That's us done for another week. Thank you, Philip. Thank you, James, for your questions. We'll be back next Tuesday with Ask Rob and Rob. But before then, you've got the Property Podcast to look forward to on Thursday. And, of course, you can find us in the Sunday Times. Guess what? On Sunday. So until then, take care. Have fun. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.